Yep, yep. You already know what it is. Southpaw Talk with Southpaw Slick. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Chris Rock stand up and the Will Smith situation overall. Now, as you guys may realize, I wasn't doing any vlogs around the time the slap first occurred. So this is the perfect time to talk about it, since the situation or the talk about the situation is reignited. So let's get into it. Me, myself, I didn't watch the new stand-up in its entirety. I ended up watching a reaction video from Tyrone Magnus, which I will link in the description. And he just, he sat there, had a screenshot or a stock photo of Chris Rock and had the audio playing in the background. I'm sure, to avoid any copyright issues. And I'm listening to it. I got a few chuckles out of it. I'm saying you heard him, he was talking about, he got slapped so hard that he heard Summertime and, the Breakfast Club called Will Smith a bitch. The Drink Champs called Will Smith a bitch. And he was holding that in because he was saying it with some stank on it. He was really saying it. He's a bitch, and to be fair, he was during that situation. But we'll get into it. But Chris Rock is not 100% in the clear either. I'm gonna get on his ass in a second. But overall, what I've heard, it was pretty funny. It was pretty good. Didn't expect anything less because Chris Rock is one of my favorite stand-up comedians of all time. I'll say he's probably top 5. Also, he has 2 stand-ups that I'm very fond of. I would definitely put those in my top 5 as well. Now, naming off some stand-ups you guys should check out that are my recommendations is Chris Rock's Bigger and Blacker, Chris Rock's Never Scared, Sinbad's Brain Damage, Eddie Griffin's Freedom of Speech, and Cat Williams' The Pimp Chronicles Volume 1. Those are my favorite stand-ups of all time. I know a lot of people, they'll say anything from Richard Pryor, which I've never been a fan of. Eddie Murphy Raw, that's usually the main one people talk about, but I'm not a big fan of Eddie Murphy as a stand-up comedian. Now, as far as movies and actor, great. Some of my favorite 2 movies in particular is Boomerang and Nutty Professor, the first one, even though the second one is good in its own right. And George Carlin, that's another one that I'm really fond of. Anything from him is funny. And oddly enough, George Carlin is one of Chris Rock's influences. But continuing on with the subject, I was getting off the topic a little bit. The Will Smith situation, the first time it happened, I thought he was playing. When he walked up and slapped Chris Rock, I thought it was a joke. I really thought it was a joke. And then he goes back to his seat and he's like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And because Chris Rock was talking about Jada Pinkett Smith, saying that she looked like G.I. Jane because she was bald, not knowing, including myself, I didn't know that she had alopecia. Me, I just thought she shaved her head off, for fashion, I mean, it does look good on her. She looks good with the baldy. I'll give her that. But yeah, I thought Will Smith was out of line for that. I'm seeing you 2 guys, 2 of the biggest black celebrities, in front of a whole bunch of white people. Will, you're really going to go up there and slap Chris Rock? Will Smith held that in. Basically, the anger that he had towards August Alsina, even though according to August Alsina, he had Will Smith's blessing to sleep with his wife, right? You held all that anger in and took it out on Chris Rock. You took it out on somebody you already know wasn't going to do anything. Because let's be fair, to put it lightly, Chris Rock is a non-confrontational guy. We know he's not about that. You know what I mean? Even himself, he said he used to get bullied back in his adolescent years when he was going to a predominantly white school and he was getting picked on because he was black, which he also covered a tad bit in the Everybody Hates Chris show. So I'm saying you go up there to hit somebody that you know is not going to do anything, thinking that it was going to make you look good, thinking that you was going to get brownie points, thinking that people was going to see you as tough or hard, which is something we've never seen Will Smith as. So I don't know what the point was. He should have just laughed it off and kept it moving. That's what we all would have done. Now, yes, Jada Pinkett, she did make a little, a little face of disgust. And I guess Will Smith felt that he had to defend her honor, right? He had to defend her honor. But in actuality, Will Smith, he just needed that ego boost because it's like he had a loss of self-respect. I'm saying when, like, even Chris Rock covered that in the stand-up when he was talking about, like, basically you asked your wife, like, did you suck that guy's dick, on national TV on her Red Table Talk, so I'm saying you look crazy during the Fresh Prince reunion. It's like he looked like he didn't even want to be there. Like that was in the back of his head, bothering his mind the whole time. You already knew. But that's what I'm saying. Will Smith looks weak. He looks even weaker now after the smack. Oh, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm like, come on, man. Really? Really? Now with Chris Rock, when he was talking about, which I thought right away, you're going to slap me in front of all these white people. Okay, you have a point. However, I can't take you 100% seriously for saying that. Because one, you had no problem making fun of a black woman in front of white people. You had no problem sitting with Jerry Seinfeld and Louis C.K. sitting there saying nigger with an E-R while your dumbass is sitting there not checking them on it. You already you lost me on that because most of us didn't know about that situation. It came out way after the fact because I had no idea that occurred. And I'm very disappointed in him too. I'm saying you let these white people, I'm saying just because you cool with them, I'm saying you should have put their ass in check. So you should be the last one talking about doing things in front of white people when you're being a real house Negro right now. So I can't take your word 100% serious on that, but I do agree. I do agree. But I'm thinking to myself with Will Smith, if there was anybody else up there, if it was Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, even D.L. Hughley, shit, I would even say Martin Lawrence, all of them would have done something. They would have retaliated. They definitely would have retaliated. I'm saying he definitely, if Steve Harvey was up there, he wouldn't have went up there. He wouldn't have went up there at all. Like I said, nah. Will Smith is not built like that. And I know a lot of people like, when like when the slap happened, oh, Will Smith, oh, he from Philly. Yeah, he's from West Philly. That's nice town, you know what I mean? Like I said, you act like he from North, like he from the trenches. Will Smith, he grew up, I want to say rich, but better off than most. So I'm saying he never had to do that, you know what I mean? Like, and that's fine. I'm saying Will Smith, for who he is, perfectly fine. Even Joyner Lucas made a tribute song to him, which is pretty dope, by the way. And it's a great video, too. It's like, that's it. You Fresh Prince, Will Smith, Men in Black, and, what's something else? I Am Legend, like I'm saying, like, that's it. Wild Wild West, that's what I think of with Will Smith. He's just a funny, goofy guy. And that's like Nick Cannon. He's Nick Cannon, but more tolerable. He's definitely more tolerable than Nick Cannon. But that's what I'm saying. Like with Will Smith, it's like we never seen you that way. I'm saying even people reference it in raps, even in the battle rap, like with Murder Mook versus Party Artie. When he was like my flow ill, your flow ill. And you better off rhyming the will, because you dead in this rap game. A gangster, you're not, man. Over peddling's the only time you pop chains. Like I said, exactly. That's what I'm saying. People already know. You just Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff. That's it. And that's perfectly fine. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know why Will Smith, like I said, it's because It's because he kept getting clowned on social media. People making memes, people making response videos, people making posts, tweets, clowning him, making fun of him after the August situation. This is before the slap even occurred. After August revealed that he slept with Jada Pinkett, and then the Red Table Talk came out, and with the infamous entanglement. Oh, we had an entanglement. You know what I mean? That's what I was saying. It's like he been getting clowned on ever since. So it's like any last shred of dignity he had, it's like I got to get my respect back. I got to get my props back. Your cred that was never really there. I'm saying you should have just laughed it off and kept it moving. I'm saying people get made fun of all the fucking time. That's the internet. That's the internet. But I'm saying, but when Chris Rock threw a jab at Jada Pinkett, it was like, oh, that's my green light to go up there and try to make myself look tough. And that shit is weak. Like I'm saying, I'm like I said, it's like you don't look tough at all. Like you look even more lame. And I'm saying, and I don't mean lame as in like at first, just normal, you know what I mean? But now you're lame, like corny lame. Like how everybody's, calling Michael B. Jordan corny. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think Will Smith is corny. And it's like solidified now. Now you're corny for real. Like it's not even corny in a, I guess, respectable way. I'll say there's really no respectable way of saying somebody is corny. But you know what I mean. Like you just a normal, regular dude. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, but because he's black, I'm saying he's corny, right? So we gotta give him. He ain't like Alfonso Ribeiro. Let's be real. Even on the show, outside the show, no. I said he has some beat and corniness, but still, Will Smith is forever corny to me after that slap. That slap did nothing for him whatsoever. It did nothing for his reputation. It did nothing for his self-respect, I'm sure, and it did nothing for his career. It was fucking stupid. The whole situation was dumb. I'm saying you should have just ate the joke. Jada should have just dealt with that, and that's it. And I know at first some people were trying to justify it. Oh, he's just defending his wife. He's just making sure his wife is not being disrespected, and that's perfectly fine. But Chris Rock is a comedian. That's what comedians do. They throw jabs at people. I'm saying you got to have tough skin. You have to have tough skin. I'm like, come on, man. That's the industry. And like I'm saying, especially a comedian, that's their profession, is to make jokes and make fun of people while they're doing it. Just deal with that. That's what I'm saying. The whole fucking situation is stupid to me. It really is. I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand. I really don't. I mean, I do, but just like from my logic, it's fucking dumb. Like I said, Will Smith should have just ate that. Like I'm saying, now you look even worse. But like I said, Chris Rock, that's what's up. Congratulations for, getting your 20 mil for doing a new stand-up. Apparently, it's gotten good reception, which I'm more than certain it was going to get. Because Chris Rock, like I said, is a very funny comedian. And I'll give him his credit. But break's about to be over. Southpaw slick. I'm out.